Hi, in this video I'm going to try out an AM and PM skincare regimen from Paula's Choice for an entire month. And my name is Melissa van Dijk, I'm 24 years old, I'm a real user that actually tries out the products, and I also bought the products with my money. Now, let's have a closer look at what my skin looks like. This is what it currently looks like, but I also took some pictures where you can clearly see that I have a few blemishes here and there, as well as also what my skin texture looks overall. And this is today. This is the first day. Now, what are you going to expect in this video? First, I'm going to share with you how you can also get your skincare routine so that it also is suitable for your skin issues, the same as I did. Then we will have a closer look at the AM and PM skincare routine, which I'm going to follow now for 30 days. Then I also will share some before and afters, as well as weekly little video clips updates, where I'm just looking back at the entire week and see what improvements I can see so that I just can keep you updated. Now, I do hope that you will enjoy this video, so let's get started. So for the first section, I'm going to share with you how I got my personalized skincare routine from Paula's Choice and how you can get one for yourself if you need a bit of help. So you can do this in just a few steps. Here is how I've done it. I reached out to their customer service through the main website and I've told them about my skin concerns and needs, such as that I have a combination skin, that I do get a few breakouts mainly in my T-zone, that I also have a sensitive skin, and that I would need something that would help me to calm the skin as well as even out my skin tone. And to be even more specific, I've also attached a picture so that they can see what the current skin situation looks like. And a few days later, I've also received a reply where they put up an AM and PM skincare routine, which I can use. Now let's have a look at the second section where I'm going to show you what my personalized skincare routine looks like. Starting off with the AM routine, where I'm going to start off with the Defense Hydrating Gel to Cream Cleanser. Then moving on to the Calm Soothing Liquid Toner. Then applying the Calm Redness Relief Repairing Serum. Then using the 10% Azelaic Acid Booster. And lastly, to finish it off, I'm going to use the Calm Redness Relief Mineral Moisturizer. So this is what my AM skincare routine looks like, and if you want to know what it looks like when I'm applying it on the skin, I can also link you the video in the top right corner. Now moving on to the PM skincare routine, where I'm going to start off with the Defense Hydrating Gel to Cream Cleanser. Then again, using the Calm Redness Relief Toner. Then applying the Clear Regular Strength and Anti-Redness Exfoliating Solution. Then using the Calm Redness Relief Repairing Serum. And lastly, finishing it off with the Clear Oil-Free Moisturizer. Also, if you want to know what the PM routine looks like and how it's applied, I can link you a video in the top right corner. So, let's have a look at how those products perform. So I've been using the Paula's Choice skincare products now for an entire week, and now I'm ready to share with you the first update. So let's have a closer look at the pictures. Now you clearly can see that on day 1 and day 2 not much has changed, but on day 3 you can see that it has already given me some like a little bit more of a brightening effect, and the forehead area in general looks less red, which is also very noticeable over the next days. And I do have to mention that even though I feel like it did help with clearing up and also healing the breakouts, some other breakouts also popped up again, but it wasn't like in a bad situation so that I had it all over the face. It was just a few here and there, mainly in my T-zone. But overall, I'm really impressed on how those products have already worked over the week. And here you can see the comparison from day 1 to day 7. It's getting brighter, my skin looks a little bit more radiant, which is also a great sign because I feel like this gives me a healthier look. And I've also taken side-by-side pictures so that you can see how it also cleared up the skin and how the skin looks a little bit like in a closer effect. I do believe, which you can also see, that it did heal the breakouts which were already there previously, so it calmed them down and made them like less noticeable. But also on the other hand, such as for example on my forehead area, you can also see that it gets a little bit more red again, where little dots and breakouts would appear again. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to perform over the next weeks. So this is already the second week, and this is also what my skin currently looks like. I do have to say I'm a bit disappointed, but at the same time I'm not really surprised on how irritated my skin looked like, since I've already mentioned during the first week that it's weird that some breakouts would disappear and other ones would come back. So that still there was something that would trigger an irritation and also make it look very inflamed. But I also documented everything in the before and after, so let's have a closer look. Now on day 8, I do have to say this was a good day. There was not much of redness, nor like breakouts, a few blemishes here and there, but that's alright. Then on day 9 and 10, you can see that the irritation happened again. Like the redness was more visible and my forehead looks a little bit more like irritated, as well as the chin area. And this is also where I got that weird feeling in my gut again, which was already there at the very beginning, but it just basically confirmed it during the second week. Since then, on day 11, 12 and 13, major breakouts and bumps under the skin would appear, which are really, really painful. And so just that you have a reference, here you can see a comparison from day 7 to day 14. I had already much better days, I do have to agree on that, but I mean, I'm trying to keep the motivation going and also using the products for an entire month in total, but still, if you're having a look at it side by side, you can see that the skin looks very irritated and it did not really calm it down as some of the products do claim. But then also on the other side, around the nose and under the eyes, it looks really, really strong, like irritated, as well as the chin and forehead area. Now, to also give you a close-up of my face, I've took a picture from the cheek and nose area, where you can see how it looks, as well as also for my forehead and chin area. And those are the breakouts that I'm talking about. Those are not the usual ones. Those are like the ones that are under the skin and also feel very painful and are very irritated. Now I do have to say that I have already an idea of what it could be, but I'm not 100% sure. To really make sure if it is that product that I'm thinking of, I have to try it out like an entire week where I'm not using it. And this is the Paula's Choice Calm Soothing Toner. That one I had already bad experience in the past when using a toner. For some reason my skin doesn't like using a toner at all, which I find at some point isn't really necessary, but at the time that they recommended the routine, I also wanted to try it and use it. But since I have this one already in my mind, and from my last experience it was always a toner, I wanted to skip an entire week from the toner and see how my skin is going to behave during the third week. And maybe, and hopefully, we can see some improvements. I also want to mention I did not change anything else when it comes to the routine, nor did I change anything to my diet. I'm eating the same, I'm living the same, I'm using the same products. The only difference for the third week is that I'm skipping the toner. Well, guess what has happened during the third week while I was not using the toner at all, and I just skipped to my normal routine except for the toner, and my skin feels so much better, it also looks so much better. So let's have a look at the improvements. So during the first 3 days, I do have to say on the first day you can't really tell much of a difference, but it slowly started to show some improvement during the second and also third day, where my skin looks less irritated. And it also feels much better when I'm doing the routine without a toner, I do have to admit. And then over the next days, the redness is nearly gone. I still have it just a tiny bit, and the main breakouts and little bumps disappeared. I do have 2 stubborn ones, which is on my chin and also on my cheek. Hopefully we can solve this issue also during the last week, because then my skin looks amazing and I'm feeling so good about it. And I also have a comparison for you from day 14 to day 21. I mean, the improvements, like basically the picture talks for itself. You can see that it looks so much better. And if you're having a look side by side, you can also see that around the nose and chin and forehead area looks evened out and looks also less irritated. Same goes for the other side, where I had like a little bit more redness going on, and it just calmed it down. And I've also taken some close-ups, especially also for my forehead, as I've mentioned earlier that I had those little red bumps. Those are completely gone. My skin looks even. I'm really happy about that because they were pretty annoying. I do have to admit that around my cheek and nose area, I still feel like it feels a bit irritated, but it started to look better. So hopefully we can solve this one during the last week. And then also on my chin area, where I had the same issue than on my forehead area with the little bumps, it just completely stopped and it started to calm down. So overall, during the 3rd week, I'm feeling so much better and I'm happy to finally see some amazing improvements. And I also want to mention that I personally feel much better without using the toner. I've also done a bit of research based on the ingredients, and some of them can also trigger some irritations. So I feel best when I'm not using it. And I've also had a little look at my books. But I mean, please, if you aren't sure if you should use a product for your skin, especially if you have sensitive skin, do your own research before applying it, because then you won't be disappointed when using a skincare routine, especially if it's a new one. So I'm really excited, and let's get started with the last week. So my trial is coming to an end, and I would like to share with you also the last pictures. So let's have a closer look. On day 22 and day 23, my skin wasn't looking that bad. It was pretty evened out, except for those 2 major breakouts which were in the healing process. And at that time, I was hoping that my skin would clear up and that I could finish this review with a great result and clear skin. But as so often, this didn't really happen. And on day 24, I started to notice already some changes on my skin, that little bumps would appear and that the redness would start to be a little bit more visible again. And as so often, a breakout appeared, this was a major breakout, which appeared along my cheek. And on day 25, you clearly can see where it is. And you can also see that my skin started to look very irritated again. And if you want to see what it also looked like from the side, here you can see that I wanted to treat it with a bit of tea tree oil, but this ended up badly. If you want to see the whole story, I can also link it in the top right corner. But this doesn't change the fact that on day 26 and day 27, my skin started to say goodbye to the clear skin, and little breakouts and dots would get definitely more obvious. And here you can also see what it looks from one side, as well as also from the other side. And of course, I did also take some close-ups, and here you can see what my forehead looked like before on day 21 and what it looks today on day 28. The same goes also for my nose and cheek area. It still looks very inflamed and also irritated, and those little dots wouldn't go away. And the same also happens to my chin. So for some reason, over the entire month, I ended up with kind of clear skin, then breakouts would pop again, then clear skin. It was like an up and down and very messy. And now, so that you can also remember and see a comparison side by side, I also wanted to share with you the pictures from day 1 to day 28. And for some reason, I feel like the products kind of did something when it comes to the shine, but at the same time, it did not really change something on how my skin overall looks. The breakouts just went to a different area, but it's pretty much the same. And if you're going to have a closer look side by side, you can see that not much has changed overall over the entire month of using Paula's Choice products. And the same goes for the other side, except of course for the breakout with the tea tree oil. So this is how my skin behaved over the entire month, and I do have to say that I'm pretty disappointed, because not only are those products crazy expensive, but it did nothing for my skin. I still have breakouts all over the face. They just moved around and appeared on a different area, but it's pretty disappointing to see that not much has changed. I paid $200 for the AM and PM skincare routine, which is crazy expensive for nothing. And still, there are some products in the routine that I don't like at all. And this is also where I want to get into. But I also want to mention, since I now know how my skin has behaved over the entire month, I decided to not share my AM and PM skincare routine. So you won't find videos about it, just because I personally feel with the products that I've used specifically for the AM and PM skincare routine, it's not worth it to share it with you if it didn't work for me. So this is why I wouldn't recommend it. But I'm not saying that all the products of Paula's Choice are crap. I haven't even tried them. I just can't talk about my experience with the products that I have used. And I also now want to break down which products I did like and did not like. And so I'm going to start off with the Paula's Choice Defense Cleanser, which I truly love. This is such a good cleanser, and I'm really happy that I got this one and that it also works so well for my skin. So this is definitely a winner. Then also the exfoliating solution is also a big winner. It feels good on the skin. It's very refreshing. It did calm down the redness, but it didn't like really at the end. I don't know, maybe it's a combination of all those products. It did not really do much because I still have breakouts. But from the feeling and application, it's great. Then the one that I truly loved from the very beginning was the Azelaic Acid Booster. This feels like a good moisturizer, and I prefer this as a moisturizer as my last step than the actual moisturizers that came with the routine. And so this is also where it brings me to the products that I really do not like, which is the oil-free moisturizer as well as the Calm Mineral Moisturizer. These are used in the AM, these are used in the PM, and I don't like them at all. The way on how they sit on the skin, how they feel, I think that this one is also causing me to break out. I'm not really impressed by it, and I also wanted to send those two back because they have a 100% money back guarantee, and I wanted to try it and see if I can get my money back because I feel like they are not worth it. Then with the last two products, when it comes to the toner as well as the Calm Serum, I'm not sure with those two. Feeling wise, they're kind of alright. With this one, I'm not sure if it's going to cause a reaction because I still have breakouts. But with the serum, it feels good on the skin. But I don't know if I could see anything happening with my skin. So it's more like a product, yeah, you're going to apply it. It doesn't feel bad, neither does it feel good, so you're just going to stick with the routine. Still, I wouldn't buy this one again, and neither would I the toner. So this is how I feel generally about the AM and PM skincare routine with the products that I would use again and also which I wanted to skip and do not use at all. So now that this month is over, I hope that I can get my skin back to a clear and also even skin tone, because it's quite annoying if you see that something is not working and you're spending money on it, which is crazy expensive. So this is basically me trying out some of the Paula's Choice skincare products for an entire month. And also do hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget you won't find the AM and PM skincare routine. I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it. But still, if you want to see some how-to videos as well as also some reviews of the Paula's Choice products which I used in the AM and PM skincare routine, those are on my channel. And if you also want to learn more, I can also link some videos right here for you to check out. And also do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have tried any of the products, please also leave your experience down below, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!